Meme coins are exploding in 2025. Crypto's back, and kids, degens, and whales are turning pocket change into millions. They're trading meme coins named after dogs, cats, wolves, frogs, everything, and especially dog with hat. Whether you're a newbie or a crypto OG, I'll walk you through a step-by-step guide on exactly how to open up an Axiom account, set up your wallet, transfer money. Then we're going to explore the Discover tab, which is the meme coin radar. It shows you new tokens launching on the Solana network with real-time data like market cap, volume, because that's where the big pumps hide. Then I'm going to show you how to set up filters and customize your page to be able to snipe coins much faster. Remember, there's around 65,000 coins that come out a day. 65,000. You have to be able to set up your filters in a way where you can see things much clearer. Then we'll get into how to save money on gas fees, right? Because in order to trade, you have to pay a fee. So Axiom fees are 1% of your total trade. So if you're trading $100, you're paying $1 when you sell. But when you sign up with my link in the description, you save up to 20% on fees. And then finally, I'm going to show you how to trench, how to find tokens, and how to trade. All right, let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to head over to the link in the description, and you're going to see axiom.trade. You're going to click on the link, and it's going to take you straight to this page, and it's going to have my referral code, ROCOBSD. It helps you automatically go from 1x to 2x reward. So now once you do that, what you're going to do is you're going to hit the deposit link on top to fund your account. You're going to use whatever platform you use to buy Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, Solana on Kraken.com, KuCoin, Binance, Crypto.com, whatever platform you want to use. You're going to copy your deposit address. You're going to buy Solana, and you're going to withdraw it into your deposit address. And in less than a minute, usually it takes around 10-15 seconds, you'll see that your wallet will be funded with your Solana. Now you can start trading. All right, so now what you're going to do is you're going to head over to the Discover tab, and in trending, you're going to see all the coins that have been pumping like crazy. Up to this one, Bloop is at $5 billion, right? All right, let's go to verification. So if you go to verification, you click on that, you'll see that it's up 13% in the last day, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to head over to the Discover tab, and you'll see all the coins that have been trending on Axiom.pro and also in the entire crypto community on the Solana based chain. And you can filter by 1 minute, 5 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour. Now what I like to do is if you look at a coin here like Fwog, for example, the volume is at $3.41 thousand, so it's almost $4,000. If you click on that, you'll see it has a market cap of $59 million, and in the last hour it's been up 1%, right? So let's say you put in $1,000. If a coin's at $58.9 million, how likely is it to double? Right? From 58.9 times 2, $119 million market cap. It's likely going to take a few weeks or even months if it continues trending upwards. Now, if it's going to go downwards, you can also lose money, which is also why we're getting to stop losses, right? So what you want to do in the Discover tab, this is more for coins that have been out for a while. You want to look for coins that have an insane amount of volume, right? So you're going to go to filter. Let's leave Radium and Pump, right? Those are the protocols. And I'm going to put a volume of $50,000, right? So if you have a coin that's been out for, let's see, let's go back into the 1 hour. And now if you have a coin here like Troll Coin, for example, it's been out for 7 days. And in the last 5 minutes, there's $36,000 in volume, which is something that's, honestly, it's a very good thing to look into, right? Because if a coin's been out for that long and it has that much volume, that means that there's still attention, right? So what you could do, what I like to do a lot, right? So this is the account that I use, to test and make videos for. Because I'll tell you the truth, I'm not so good at making videos while trading. I've done that in the past and I've lost money, right? Because I'm a little bit ADD, thank God, and it's hard for me to focus on that. But let me just show you what I like to do across the board. So I like to use a Discover when I'm going to put in, let's say, from $1,000 to $5,000, right? And the reason why I like to put more money into these is because there's a lot more volume and there's a lot more attention into them, right? So what I like to do is I like to go here to the indicators, and I like to, here, let me take off the instant trade, and let's go over here and go to the ray line, right? So what I'll do is I'll actually mark where it's at, right? So it's a $22 million market cap, and I'll lock it. Now what I'll do is I'll come back in a day, even a few hours, whatever it is, right? Because it's locked, you're not going to lose it. And I like to see where it's at. So let's say you come back in a day and it's at $24.4 million, right? So what I do is I go here to the ruler, right? So you can measure, right? What you do is you want to go upwards. You click on it once and then you're going to go upwards. You'll see that you would have been up 11.30%, right? So let's say you put in $5,000, right? And you'd be up 11%. So let's do times 1.11, 11%, right? You'd be up $550, and that's not bad for a day. I've seen many coins go from 22 million to 100 million, right? You got Bitcoin that's at over $1 billion now, and there's many other coins that are trending that have an insane amount of volume. So the importance of doing research is really the make or break of whether you should put money into it or not, right? So you want to make sure that you're putting vertical lines to test the market, right? And what's good about this is whenever you put in a buy order, right? What you should automatically do is you should put a stop limit, right? So let's say you're going to buy $100, whatever it is, right? You're going to go to sell, hit limit, and then come down to 100%, and you're going to bring that down. Here, let's say you want to be down, you don't want to lose more than 20%, right? So let's go to minus 20. Sorry, here you go, minus 20. Okay. Minus 20. Sorry, there you go, we got it. So that means when it gets to $17.6 million market cap, whatever you bought will automatically sell, and you'll be at a loss of 20%. But it's much better. The dumbest thing that I've ever done was not set a stop loss, right? On any coin, honestly, and I'll show you that more in the post tab later, of the importance of setting a stop loss, right? So think of the upside. If you were to put in $5,000 and you could be up $550 within a day, right? So the downside is you could lose up to 20%. Now, if you're going to do a stop loss of minus 5%, the reality is there's so much volume. If the candle just simply hits your limit order target, it's going to automatically sell. So you want to make sure that it's, I mean, it's not financial advice, but I would do a minimum of 15%, right? And the upside is a coin going from 22.1 million to doubling at 44.2 million, or even going up to 100 million, right? Or let's say, let's say a coin goes to $1 billion, right? So you have over here 22 million, right? Yeah, I'm not so good at math. No, I'm just kidding. $1 billion divided by 22 million, right? You'd be up 45 times. If you were to put in $5,000, you'd be up an insurmountable amount of money, right? But make sure you set stop loss. That's the most important thing. Now, the next thing that we're going to get into is the post tab, which is the bread and butter of Axiom, right? So any coin that you'd ever see on any exchange that has a meme coin that's traded on the Solana protocol, right? Let's say, for example, a Trump coin, right? You have here, let's go to coinmarketcap.com, and what we'll see is, let's go to Meme Explorer, right? Now, if you go to cryptocurrencies and then you hit ranking, you'll see all the top coins, right? So one of the important things about trading Solana in this market is that it's a top 6 coin, right? Out of 14.52 million cryptocurrencies on the market, it's sitting at number 6 after Bitcoin, Ethereum, USDT, which is a tether coin, which is stable at $1, XRP, Ripple, BNB, and Solana, right? And if we head back here to Axiom, you'll see on the bottom, it shows you 3 indicators, right? It shows you price in BTC, price in Ethereum, and price in Solana. And the reason why that's important, there's probably hundreds of thousands of people a day trading Solana meme coins, right? And in order to do that, they have to buy Solana. And the reason why that's good is because the more they buy Solana to trade meme coins, the more the price of Solana goes up, right? And the same for Bitcoin, right? So when Bitcoin's up, it shows a tendency, right, that people are buying Bitcoin and the price is going up. So when Bitcoin goes up in value, it shows a very good upside positive market sentiment, right? Which means people are interested in crypto, right? When Trump launched his coin, and around the time he came into office, Bitcoin surpassed $100,000, which was, I think it was the first time it ever did that. And over the last few weeks, it went down. Here, let's see. Let's go into the 1-day chart, right? So we'll see. Here, let's go to one of its lows, right? So we'll see on October 24th, it was at $65,000. And around the time that Trump came into office, right, it was at $100,000. Over the last few weeks, it's been downtrending. It went down to 80,000, 78,000, but now it's at 93,000, which is showing an incredible market sentiment, right? So that shows that people are bullish on cryptos, right? And when Bitcoin goes up, Solana goes up, right? So now that's going to bring me over to the Pulse tab, which is where the bread and butter is, right? If you look at all these coins over here, right? Let's see which one of them is run on the Solana chain. So if you filter by Solana, so if we filter all of the top cryptocurrencies by Solana, what we'll see is that the official Trump coin, right, at its all-time high, here, let's see what it was at. There was $34.2 billion of 24-hour trading volume, right? And it was at $72 a coin. And now it's at $14.4 a coin, right? Now, what's the incredible thing about this is that it launched on this chain. It launched on the Pump.Fund protocol, right? So imagine a coin that ran to, here, let's see right now it's at a market cap of $3 billion, right? So if you go to $3 billion and you divide it by the absolute bottom that you could buy a coin at, let's say right now around $5,000 market cap, right? You'd be up 600,000. Now the thing is, the reality is that people get excited. We have very bad tendencies when it comes to money, and we get excited. We're in it to make a quick buck, right? But the reality is that most people aren't going to hold for that long, right? No one's going to hold from 5,000 market cap to 3 billion, right? Because it's likely that a coin's going to rug. So it's important to, in the beginning, trade into volume, and you want to use a Twitter tracker, which I'll actually show you how to use, and that's how we day trade attention, right? So let's go back to the Pulse tab, which is where all of the bread and butter is, right? Now, there's 3 ways that you can trade. There's new pairs, which are all the coins that are launched onto the market, and you can instantaneously see them, right? This is the first place to see a coin. And then you got the final stretch. So if you look down here, you'll see it says estimated bond market cap. So whenever a coin hits $60,000, and it's always changing its price, right, for the bonding market cap based on the price of Solana. So if you go into here, for example, you see this coin came out 8 minutes ago. Now it's at $40,000 market cap. Once it hits $60,000 market cap, it's going to migrate. Once it migrates, it then goes into the Radium pool, which is essentially it's a liquidity pool. And as long as you're trading on the Pump protocol, there should always be money in liquidity to pull out, right? So you can buy and sell. If you use Moonshot, Launch Lab, Dynamic BC, all those other ones, you can get honeypot or you can get rugged, which means the developer of the coin pulls out all the liquidity and you're not able to trade your coin. So let me show you the difference between new pairs, right? Let me show you the difference between trading a new pair with filters and trading a new pair with no filters. So you want to hit new pairs, right? And you're going to take out Launch Lab, Dynamic. You're just going to leave the Pump protocol and you're going to apply. And you should see that every second a new coin comes out, depending on the market sentiment. Sometimes I've seen 15, 20 coins come out in a second. Sometimes it takes, I think it was about 2 days ago, I saw a coin come out every 30 seconds, right? But the price of Solana was still high, which means there's still a good sentiment. Now, one of the ways I could trade is, as they say, I can scan, right? You're scanning with your 2 beautiful eyes. And what you're doing is you're looking for certain things, right? So the criteria that I have here, because I've been trading for the last few months, only the last 2 weeks on Axiom, and I love it. I'm not going anywhere. Please use the link in the description. By the way, I hope I have you this far. If you can please hit the like button, subscribe. It will help the channel a lot, and I appreciate it. It will help me make great content, and I'd love to help you guys out. The more I learn, the more I can teach. So what you want to do is scan, right? And now the way you scan is by looking at certain things, indicators, right? So you're going to want to come over to the display over here and kind of get used to all these. So if I leave all these indicators, right, which are available under customized rows, you'll see there's a lot of information, right? Now, the first thing is top 10 holders, right? You always want it to be under a certain percent. Axiom is really good at showing you the indicators. If it's in green, that means that they're not skeptical about it, right? So let's go over here. For example, top 10 holders, 28%. It's going up. Developers holding 3%. A lot of people wait until the dev sells in order to buy, right? And the reason why that's good is because no one knows who the dev is unless it's somebody behind a project on Twitter and everyone knows about him, right? Once he sells, now people have a mental thought that, okay, the developer is out. That's one less person who's going to completely full clip at 100% and rug the coin, right? The next one is snipers. Snipers are pretty much people who buy in early. If you look over here, there's a quick buy tab. You can set over here. You can buy 1 Solana. You could buy 0.01, which is like about close to $2. I think it's like $1.50. And what you do is you just simply click it, and that's a snipe, right? Now, the next indicator is insiders holding. Insiders is anytime a developer creates a new coin, it's pretty much given to an insider, right? That insider could also be the developer who created a separate wallet. So even though he completely sells his coins, he's probably holding under another. He's probably holding under another wallet. So you want to make sure that you're doing your research. And bundles. Bundles is when there's a lot of supply, depending on the number. Usually a little bit, but I mean a lot of the time it's a lot. All the supply could be in multiple wallets. So when the developer creates a coin, he could use a certain app that lets him create 50 wallets under a certain amount of money that he's investing, and it could look like there's many holders in the account, right? Which leads me to the most important thing. Well, actually, volume is the most important thing, but the second most important thing, and which is why I take everything out. I don't need dev holding. I don't need top 10 holders. I don't need snipers. I leave dev migrations because it shows me developers who have migrated coins in the past. And I do like market cap, volume, transactions I can take out. Socials is fine if you want to hover over the links. Axiom shows you the Twitter if there's one created. Holders I don't care about. I want to see pro traders. That's my favorite indicator, right? So I'm going to go here and I'll show you this coin came out 11 seconds ago. And the reason why it's so important to make sure there's pro traders is because pro traders indicates that they're using a platform such as Axiom, Bullx, Photon, Neo, right? Now holders, let me try and show you one that has a whole bunch of holders with not a lot of pro traders, right? So here, let me go back here. Let me show you holders, okay? So you'll see here there's 17 holders, but 4 pro traders. That means there's only 4 real people in here, right? And all of these could be in bundled wallets, right? So this 2% bundled could have 6 wallets, whatever it is. An insider could have, right? There's many, many different indications that you have to look out for. But as long as there are pro traders, it's not that you have nothing to worry about. It's that you have less to worry about because there's real people putting real money, right? Investing real Solana into real coins, right? No, I'm kidding. There's no such thing as a real coin, right? A coin could go to 1 million. So Cupsy, which is one of the biggest traders, if you click over here, right? So Cupsy is one of the biggest traders. So I'm going to click on Cupsy and you'll see that he's made 320,000 on this wallet alone. This is the second wallet, right? So you'll see that he bought EXPB, right? He bought 1.4 thousand at 57.9 market cap. And then he bought more, right? Because the coin was going down and he wanted to put some more money in to see if it would go up. And clearly it didn't. So he sold everything at $31,000 market cap. So the reason why it's important to track wallets is because all of these, well, a lot of these people, they're all KOLs, key opinion leaders. They have big, big accounts on YouTube, Twitter, whatever it is. There's thousands of people following them. So what happens is a lot of times they farm their traders, meaning if you're tracking someone's wallet, anytime they go in, you're like, wow, this guy who has $1 million in his wallet, right? Like if I go to Casino, for example, right? He has $95,000 in his wallet. That might excite you and you'll tell yourself, wow, if he goes, the next thing I'm going to show you is Twitter tracker, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to go over to trackers over here, right? All the way on top, next to Pulse, and you're going to customize your feed and you're going to go through the subscriptions. Once you click on customize feed, you're able to add subscriptions of people who have the most subscribers that are in the world of crypto. And the reason why that's important, and this is also something that I'll go over in further detail in another video, right? But when you go over to the Pulse tab, you want to make sure that you have the Twitter tracker open, right? So anytime, let's say Elon Musk changes his logo, right? That's a coin that will literally go to a few $1 million in market cap. Anytime someone talks about somebody in the space who knows a lot about coins. So anytime Trump says something, right? When he posts or there's a meme about him, it literally gets turned into a meme, and there will be thousands of coins that come out. Right? It's very possible that someone might make a coin out of that, right? Yeah, what I'm waiting for is some more news to come out. I have to update my Twitter tracker so that I can get more handles in there, because I have it on my other account. But this whole 100 bundles versus 1 degen, it's a meta that's been trending over the last few days. So pretty much anytime you see a tweet, you should know that anytime you see a tweet come out, you should be prepared to day trade attention, right? Because that's what people are buying into, right? People don't just buy into a coin that has no attention, right? So this coin, for example, Brit, right? Yeah. First of all, I'm going to take out the holders because I don't care about that. I care about pro traders. This coin over here has 3 pro traders, right? So let's say you want a paper trade. You don't want to go in right away. You don't have to put your money in right away, right? Practice a little bit. Tell yourself I would have went in here. If I went in here, boom, the coin would have went here, right? So here, let's say it went. Okay, so let's say it's here, for example. You want to lock that trade in. Now I'm going to bring out the ruler, and I want to see how much it went down. So you see, at that point, it went up. It went down 9%. So if you would have set a stop loss at 20%, it wouldn't have triggered, and the coin would have ran up to here, right? So it would have been better for you, right? So you would have been up like 5%. Now the reason why it's so important for me to trade in new pairs using Pulse is because these are coins that launch within a few seconds. So I want to be the first one who's in. And if you look over here, you'll see liquidity, right? There's $10,000 in liquidity, which means there's money that's available to pull out from the market, right? The more people trade, and the more the net volume, which is on the top right, is in green, right? And the 5-minute volume. By the way, those are 2 indicators you want to look for. I wouldn't go into a coin that has a negative volume. I also wouldn't go into a coin that doesn't have a high positive volume. And I also want to see a 5-minute volume. There could be $1 million volume within 24 hours, but the last 5 minutes, there's no volume into it. So what's the point of going in? So the reason why it's important for me to go in early on a trade is that a coin usually won't run lower than, in this market condition, $4,500, right? So let's say right now I was to go into a coin and it went down here, I'd be down 20% max. Look at that, right? And those are my rules. Whenever I sell, I use this instant trade, which is the best. This is fast, but this is like instantaneous. People used to use Bullx Neo. This is much faster. It's the fastest on the market. Axiom is incredible. They're backed by Y Combinator, which is the same company that invested into Instacart. So what you want to do is you want to set up your preset values, right? So I usually fund 1 Solana. So what I'll do is put my buy presets at 0.01, 0.10, 0.5, and 0.30, right? And then I'll buy into a coin. Now the reason why I put in 0.1, which is 10% of my balance, is because if I lose, I have more to trade. You don't want to go in 100% at once. It doesn't make any sense. Sometimes the coin won't go up, but it also won't go down. So what I'll do is I'll just put another trade, 0.01, $1.50, $2, whatever it is. And when people see that, they get excited. They say people are going into a coin. There's more buyers. The volume's static, but somebody else just went in. Now's my chance to go in, right? And then what you could do is you can wait a few seconds. A lot of times, let me show you. You go into a coin. This one's been out for 11 seconds. You go in at 7K. Look at this. Within a few seconds, boom. It would have been at 8 seconds, $8,000. You could have been up 15%, right? Here, let me go into another one and show you kind of how I trade. Okay, this coin's been out for 5 seconds. No, I'm looking for something a little better. So I'm going to look for a coin that's been out for a few seconds. This one has 6 pro traders. Look, I would go in right now. Boom, 0.10, right? Okay, look at that. So if I would have bought here, right? And then literally within, it's been 6 seconds, not even, right? Let's see, I'm out, right? Full clip out, 100%, sell 100%, right? I would have been up 60%, right? So if I wanted, let's say with $15, I would have been up $9, right? Within a matter of 5 seconds. Now imagine you're putting in $1,000, right? And you're up 1.60. You're up $600 in a matter of 7 seconds, or whatever that was, right? And if you want to hold, you can hold, but make sure you set a stop loss. If you don't set a stop loss, you're going to lose. Now, that brings me to the most important part. Is when you're not sure what to do, or when you're losing, walk the hell away. Go for a bike ride. If you have kids, go be with your kids. It's not worth being upset over a lost trade, right? Whatever whenever you go into a trade and you lose your money, so the good thing is, here, I can go into my portfolio. I'll show you in the last 7 days. I made $468, right? Now, let me show you my top 100 trades. One that was recent. It was actually last night, right? I bought in at... Here, let me show you. I can actually filter it by you, which is me. And I bought in at 17.7K market cap, which is a lot higher than my general rule. But I was looking at Twitter Tracker and there was just a lot going on there, right? So I bought it at 17.7K. And within 3 minutes, I was at 52,000. But not just that, right? So I made over here, you'll see $55 within literally, I don't know, it was insanely fast. So you want to be able to buy quick and sell fast, unless you're holding. If you're holding, I wouldn't recommend starting with the migrated tab, right? Unless there's a crazy amount of volume and you can filter. Here, you want to come into filter and you want to put $100,000 market cap, right? Right? You have less to worry about because there's so much money being put into a coin, and as long as you're setting a stop loss, you have a lot less to worry about, right? But if you do want to put a lot of money in and you're kind of scared of new pairs, which is understandable. I didn't trade new pairs my first month and a half of trading, right? Now it's pretty much all I do. But if you have a big bag you want to put in, you should go to the Discover tab, right? Because these are coins that have been around for a long time. And while they can go down a lot, they're a lot more likely to be adopted by the mass market. Retail, Kraken, KuCoin, Binance, Crypto.com, they want to make sure that people come to their platform. So they want these coins, right? So they're not stable coins, but these are coins that are going to be around for a lot longer. So you just got to pretty much decide how you want to allocate your portfolio, right? Now I'm going to bring you over to the rewards tab, right? So the rewards tab, let me just show you how much Axiom paid me to trade in the last 7 days, right? Since I've been trading using this account. So the price of Solana today is $148.51. So let's say $148 for the price of Solana. And they've given me back in Solana, right? And I was able to withdraw it and everything, 1.24 Solana. So they gave me back $183 in the last 7 days. So at this current rate, if I'm trading, let's say the same, which I'll probably be trading more the next 4 weeks, I'll make $730 a month cash back for trading, right? That's why it's important to use the referral link, because you start off at 2x rewards and I'm at 3.5 because I'm doing a lot of trading on this account. Yeah, so if you hit my referral, I really appreciate it. It helps me a lot, helps support the channel. By the way, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment. If you want me to make a video based on a topic you want to talk about or you have a question about, let me know. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for now. It's a pretty long video. Honestly, it's my first long form video and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I did okay. And if you have any questions, please reach out to me. And God bless. Not financial advice. Don't be upset. Don't be depressed. Don't take money from your parents. Don't take money from your brother, sister, mother, cousin, doctor, right? Use money that you can afford to lose. And paper trade, which means, right, go into any coin and put a vertical ray line indicator on where you would have entered a trade, right? Let me go back into 1 second. All right, on where you would have entered a trade, right? And practice on that. And if you can paper trade 7 out of 10 times successfully, you will be a very, very successful trader. But if you're losing 100% of the time, you're just going to continuously lose money, right? So do your best, do your best. I wish you luck. If you have any questions, let me know. Peace out.